Namaste. Today I'm going to read Book 1, Volume 1, Vidyeshvara Samhita, Chapter 14, Description of Fire Sacrifice, etc. in the Shiv Puran. Om Vakratu Namakaya, Surya Koti Samaprabha Niraveganam Gurivasam. Hariom Tatsat. The sages said, O Lord, please tell us in order in detail all the rites, viz. the fire sacrifice, the sacrifice to gods, Brahma Yajna, the worship of the preceptor, and the gratification of Brahmins. Sutta said the offering made into the fire is called fire sacrifice, Agni Yajna. In the case of persons in the Brahmacharya ashrama, i.e. religious students, it is called Samidadhana, collection of sacrificial twigs, or Brahmins until the rite of Aupasana, fire sacrifice of the householder. All the persons in the first ashrama perform their vrats and special sacrifices in the fire from sacrificial twigs. O Brahmins, in the case of ascetics and forest dwellers who have consigned the sacred fire to the Atman, taking a restricted quantity of wholesome food, it is itself the sacrificial offering. Householders who have started their Apusana rite shall maintain the rite in the sacrificial fire, kept in a vessel or pit always. The sacrificial fire shall be maintained either in the Atman or in the Arani, the sacrificial churning twig from which fire is kindled, lest the fire should be extinguished by royal or divine intercession. O Brahmins, the offering in the fire in the evening for the fire god is the bestower of prosperity. The offering in the morning for the sun god is conducive to longevity. This is called Agni Yajna, inasmuch as it enters the sun during the day. The different sacrifices, Stalipaka, etc., for the propitiation of Indra and other gods by offering in the fire are called Deva Yajna. The rites of Chaula, ceremony of tonsure, etc., are performed in the ordinary fire. The regular study of the Vedas is called Brahma Yajna. A Brahmin shall perform this constantly for the appropriation of gods. This is to be practiced by all, and hence no special rules are prescribed here. Now, attend to the explanation of certain Deva Yajnas without fire. At the beginning of the first creation, the omniscient, merciful Lord Mahadeva created the different weekdays for the benefit of the entire world. Lord Mahadeva, the global physician, the omniscient, the panacea of all the panaceas, made the first day his own day that bestows good health. Next, he created the day of his Maya illusion, the bestower of prosperity. Afterwards, when the birth of Kumara was attended with some mishaps, he created the day for the sake of surmounting mishaps and idleness, with a desire to bless the worlds, and for the nurture and protection, he created the next day dedicated to Vishnu, the protector of the worlds. The next day created by the Lord is for the sake of the longevity of the worlds, dedicated to the creator of the three worlds, Brahma, called also Paramistan, who is the bestower of longevity too. Hence this day too bestows longevity. The last 2 days of the week created by the Lord are those of Indra and Yama. In the beginning, when the Lord created Punya and Papa, virtue and sin, for making the three worlds flourish, These deities who preside over them were assigned these 2 days. The last 2 days are the bestowers of worldly enjoyments and removers of premature death, respectively. The Lord made the sun, etc., who are his own manifestations and are firmly established in the solar cycle, Jyotish Chakra, the lords of the different days. Their worship is their respective days, accords the respective benefits, viz. Health, riches, removal and of sickness, nourishment, longevity, enjoyment of pleasure, and prevention of death, respectively. It is said that the respective merits of the different days are secured through the gratification of the gods. Shiva is the ultimate bestower of the fruits accruing from the worship of other gods as well. The worship for the appropriation of the deities is fivefold. The repeated recitation of the respective mantras, 2. Sacrifice, 3. Charitable gift, 4. Austerities, and 5. Appropriation on the altar, idol, fire, or Brahmin. The 16 forms of service and homage shall be duly observed. Of the fivefold forms of worship, the latter are more efficacious than the former. In the absence of the earlier ones, the latter ones can be observed. In the ailments of the eyes or head, or for quelling leprosy, the sun shall be worshipped, the Brahmins fed for a day, a month, a year, or 3 years. If the action, meritorious or otherwise, that has begun to fructify is sufficiently strong, the ailment, old age, etc. are alleviated. The repetition of the mantras of the favorite deity accords the respective benefits of the day of the week. The first day of the week dedicated to the sun has a special merit of the removal of sin, especially for Brahmins. For the sake of riches, the intelligent devotee shall worship Lakshmi, etc. on Monday with cooked rice soaked in ghee and shall feed Brahmin couples. For alleviating ailments, the devotee shall worship Kali and others on Tuesday. He shall feed Brahmins with adaka, a measure of cooked rice, the pulse, black gram, and green gram. The scholarly devotee shall worship Vishnu with curd rice on Wednesday. Sons, friends, womenfolk, etc. will always be well nourished forever. A person who seeks longevity shall worship the deities for their gratification, with sacred thread, cloth, milk, and ghee on Thursday. On Friday, for the sake of enjoyment of worldly pleasures, the devotee shall worship devas with concentration. Brahmins should be propitiated with the cooked food, consisting of 6 flavors. Good cloth should be presented to women to gladden them. The wise devotee shall worship Rudra and others on Saturday, that wards off premature death, by performing Homa with gingerly seeds. He shall make gifts to the Brahmins and feed them with cooked rice and gingerly seeds, thus worshipping the deities. He shall derive the fruit of good health, etc. In the daily or special sacrifices of the deities, ceremonial ablutions, charitable gifts, repeated muttering of mantras, sacrifices, appropriation of the Brahmins, in the worship of the different devas in view of special dates, or special conjunction of the planets, or in the different days of the week. It is the omniscient Lord of the universe who bestows health and other benefits by assuming the different forms. He bestows the same according to the time, place, and the deserts of the recipient. The articles for worship shall be in accordance with one's faith or local conventions. The Lord bestows health, etc., in accordance with the comparative quality of the same. In the beginning of the period of auspiciousness, the end of the period of inauspiciousness, on birthdays, according to the stars, etc., the householder shall worship the planets, sun, etc., in his own house for his good health. Hence, the worship of gods bestows all desired fruits. The worship conducted by Brahmins must be always with mantras and by means of gesticulations in the case of others. The worship shall be carried out by men seeking good benefits in all the 7 days in accordance with their capacity. Indigent men shall worship devas with austerities, and rich men by spending money. Again and again they shall do virtuous actions with sufficient faith. After enjoying the pleasures in heaven, they are reborn again in the world. For better enjoyment, the rich shall always plant trees for shade, dig tanks, etc., install deities, and carry on virtuous activities. After the lapse of some time, when the virtue becomes ripe, he shall achieve perfect knowledge. O Brahmins, he who hears this chapter or reads it, or he who facilitates the hearing of the same shall derive the fruit of Devayajna. Footnotes. Jyotir Chakra or Simsumara Chakra refers to the system of stars, planets, and constellations conceived of as a chakra rotating like the potter's wheel. The vast space is an ocean in which the stars are arranged like the body of a giant alligator. The imagery of the wheel implies a fixed center to which the whole system of moving stars is secured by certain pulls, spoken of as winds, vata, in physical form, but actually invincible forces, exercised by the center of the peripheral stars. 77. 6 flavors are pungent, sour, sweet, salt, bitter, and astringent. Here ends today's reading of the Shiv Puran. Om Prabhu Prananatam Yom Vishwanatam Jagannathanatam Santabhajam. Om Tuya Mata Chapita Tuya Tuya Banduscha Chasaka Tuya Vidya Dravinang Tuya Tuya Sarvam Mamadevati Om Shanti 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 Om Hari Om Tat Sat.